Welcome to an easy mill demonstration. I'm going to create your part with similar dimensions, maybe not all of them. This is for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to go to the Geometry tab to start. And what I could do is basically draw out my part. So we have a circle, center, and radius. And the first radius we're going to put in there is 4 3/8, so 4.375. At 0, enter. Zoom out a little bit. The next radius we're going to put in there is 6.375, and then 8.375. Notice all I have to do is type in the radius. It's really handy that we default to that field and able to quickly build something like this. Next thing we'll do is we'll put in our lines. So we've got, let's use a line at an angle. We'll use the vertical, and our dimension on X is going to be 4 inches. So X will be 4 inches. And -4. And if you'd like, you could do some trimming at this point, but we'll carry on. The next dimension will be 3.5. Now we'll put in the outer box. Go with a line at an angle to X. The Y will be 13.75. Now I'm going to show you another command. So I'm going to remove the closest, and it's going to just hit the intersection and trim it. Then I'm going to use offset, and we're going to offset by 7/8. We're going to put in a fillet, so corner fillet, we're going to type in corner fillet 1.5. Then we need 11.5 radius, so we'll go back circle and center, we'll go 11.5. If I want to snap to the middle, I can go to snap to circle center, pick on a circle. Go to line at an angle. And from this vertical line, we're going to go at 30 degrees. Snap to all. Then we'll go -30. Do some more cleaning. I mean, there's many ways of doing this. You'll just have to get what you feel comfortable doing. Let's just undo that. We have undo and redo. Now this is a good example. What I'll do is I'll just go to trim and extend, and I'll pick this line and I'll bring it out to here. And we can delete this. This is a reference line, a reference arc. And we're going to delete the remaining lines. There are corner fillets to deal with, so we'll put another corner fillet. I believe that's 3/8. One inch. And from here what I'll do is I'll just mirror image. So we're going to go to Edit, Transform, Symmetry across the XZ plane. Put a window around part that we're mirroring after we copy it. Let's make a copy. So we'll go Edit, Copy, make one copy. And that's how we would create the geometry to start with. I almost forget to add the holes. So let's go to Geometry, Line at an Angle, pick a vertical line, and we want to type in 15 degrees off the center, and positive 15. Now I need my reference radius here, and that was 9.5, so we'll go circle, center, and radius. Now they don't have to be infinite. You don't have to make a complete circle. There is a finite mode, but for ease of use at this point, I'm just going to use infinite. And we'll change our corner radius, let's say to 1 inch. Get rid of that. Now let's say we want to machine lengthwise, so we'll go to Rotate Z by 90 degrees off of center. I'm going to make stock around the part. I'm going to use a grid. I'm not going to type in dimensions, so we'll go to Geometry, Rectangle from corner to corner, snap to grid. The grid settings are found under the setup, in case you're wondering. And I could type in a corner radius or remove it. I'm just going to use the corner radius that was there. And now we're ready to start machining the part after we create our paths. I'm going to start by creating all paths. So we'll go to Curve, New Curve, and I'm going to just use Chain and double click. There's my stock boundary, New Curve, double click. There's my part boundary. There's a land. We're going to machine material down to that point. Then we have our center pocket. There's one more that comes in through here. But let's do our holes. So let's go to New Curve, Curve Chain, select the first hole, second hole of the same value, and it'll go through and find all of them for me so I don't have to chain each one individually. I'm going to hide blank curves. That's a discrimination. We want just curves, and we're going to hide all of those. Our geometry is remaining. So then we're going to go to Geometry, Trim and Extend, because this is another level in here. So from here, and I'm snapping to grid, and I don't want to do that, so we're going to switch over to Snap to All. And here I'm going to use, I'll show you Curve Arc Move. That allows me to snap to lines and arcs. It doesn't necessarily have to be any can walk around and force it so you don't have to machine a completely closed curve. Go back to edit, unblank all your curves, and we're ready to start adding machining. So we're going to face the stock up to the part, and I'm just going to double click on my stock. We're going to use face milling, F milling. That's feature recognition. Let's see, there's TB for tool-based machining. That's the one we want. And I'm going to use a 1-inch face mill. And the depth that we're going to machine to, let's just say we're going a 1/2 inch deep. Then we want to add the inside, the part boundary. So if I looked at it right now, it machines the whole top of the part, because all we had was I double clicked on the stock. So we're going to include the part boundary. So we just go to add machining curves, verify. Look at a 3D preview. And we can slow that simulation down. And there's different types of facing passes. It doesn't necessarily have to be the zigzag back and forth. We could use a high-speed machining strategy that uses a nice uniform step over chip load. So that was just an example of that. The next thing we might do is take a finish cut around. This was 3/8 in the corner. Let's just double click on our part boundary, and we're going to say that we're using a tool-based machining contour. Let's go in there with, say, a 1/2 inch end mill. Depth is 0.5. Verify. In my strategies, if you'll notice, I arc on and off the part. These strategies were my own, and I made them default, so when I double click a curve, it knows how I want to use the tool. It knows that I want to arc onto the part and lead in on a part as well. Offset direction left for climb milling, and so on. It knew the information about the tool, the length of the flutes. If we do a rapid cut, that just shows us the end results. I'll go in with another face milling strategy to machine the ends, bringing up an island here. So I just double click, go back to face, 1 inch, depth, let's make that 250, and then we'll need to include this arc here. If we look at the simulation, it machined faced the whole part. We just want the ends, so we'll just go to add machining curves. We'll include that one. Verify. So now we've roughed the ends. And if I want to finish this at this point, let's just hide the curves. Create a new path, a new curve. We'll machine from here over to here. Then we're going to wrap it over. So we're going to use a rapid. We don't want to machine all the way around the circle. So we wrap it over to here. Then we're going to feed and cut the remaining arc. Escape. Double click. That will be a contour. Pick our 1/2 inch tool. Depth, 1/4 inch. So far we've finished the outside of the part, we finished this section here, then we have another depth here, and then a pocket in the center. There may be other details that I'm leaving out, but this is the general idea how this works. So I'm just going to show my paths again. Curves, all. Then we're going to go and double click here. I escape, double click, and we'll go back to milling a face, 1 inch. Let's change things up a little bit here. Let's go back, we'll contour, we'll use a 1/2 inch tool, and the depth we'll say is 1/8. Now that 1/2 inch tool, if I look at show tool, you can see that that 1/2 inch tool is not going to remove the material outside here. So what you can do is just double click on the operation, go to what we call total stock. Let's say we add 2 inches of stock, I'm just guessing. 1/2 inch tool, let's go 1/4 inch step each time. How's that? That was pretty accurate here. So what I did was I told it there was total stock, and it's going to walk 1/4 inch up to the wall and finish the wall for me. So let's do a 3D preview. Now let's say I had some tool changes, so we're going to go into the spreadsheet. I haven't given it tool numbers. So we have tool number and the tool diameter. So the 1 inch, the 1/2 inch we'll say is tool 2. Drop our spreadsheet. Verify all to calculate it. And when I verify all, it gives me an overall machine time. 3D preview. So you can see where the 1/2 inch tool was machining and the 1 inch tool. Next would be our pocket. So double click our pocket. Now you have just a standard pocket with a standard step over. I'm going to use the high-speed machining, HSM high-speed machining pocket. Now let's just go in there with a 3/4 inch end mill. And the depth there, the full, let's go 1/2 inch depth. Now let's say we don't want to take it all in one depth. We can do it in increments on a Z step. We can even size up our stock. Let's say we want to change our coordinate system. Maybe we want to go in the upper right hand corner. You can go to World on Model, and we can say that we want to go in the upper right hand corner. The stock we won't write to stock. We'll just go right to size. So we go a 1/2 inch deep. That just gives us a better look at what our part's going to look like. Okay, then we have to drill those holes. Double click. Drilling. We have several drill sizes to choose from. So let's say I didn't have a 2 inch drill. Those were 1 inch radius holes, I believe. So let's say I just pick this, and then what we'll do is we'll doctor it up. We'll tell it that that's actually a 2 inch diameter. The depth will go 1 inch deep, and you can just change that to 2 inch. Rapid cut. Then you would go to G for G code, pick your post processor. We can use G code listings. That's going to scroll the code on the screen. So if we hit post, that completes this part. If you have any questions, you can call CAD-CAM at 508-347-3222, or you can call sales. You can call email sales, at sales@easycam.com. Thank you.